Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Today, plot details arrived for Power Rangers the movie in 2017. Comes out in March, yo! Alright, this may be huge spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, click out of this link right now and go watch something else. But if you're interested, and I'm going to pretty much spoil myself right now, here we go. First up, Rangers are drawn from the free planets. They're the best and most disciplined, having been chosen from billions and taught from the time they were children. Nothing really surprising there. I'm not really surprised at all. It kind of fits and matches. There's a history to the Power Rangers, so we'll get a little bit more of that than just a bunch of teenagers, which it is. But I mean, there's a little bit more history on why maybe these kids were chosen and things like that. But what I'm more interested is this. Elizabeth Banks, Rita Repulsa, is 65 million years old and is a former Green Ranger gone rogue. That seems to be confirmation, if at all. This is coming from the Wrap. And usually the Wrap doesn't make up rumors. They have some inside scoop on things that come out to be completely true. And they're almost as like the Hollywood Reporter, Variety. So if it's on the Wrap, I mean it's gotta be true. And this is what we've been speculating for a long time. I've even made a video on it that Rita Repulsa is actually the Green Ranger. Makes a lot of sense, and especially when she's all in green like that. This is just confirmation. But the next story is very interesting indeed. Not that one. Bryan Cranston's Zordon was the original Red Ranger millions of years ago, long before transformed into a state of pure energy. That is really interesting because there were more Rangers before. It adds a lot of history to Zordon and Rita Repulsa. In the original series, he knew about her and she knew about him, but they've really gotten too much detail. And I think this is smart because now a lot of people are going to say, no, Zordon was not the Red Ranger and Rita's not supposed to be the Green Ranger, but this is a remake and a reboot, okay? And I don't like almost everything in remake reboots, but this kind of adds a little bit more depth. It's still Zordon, it's still Rita. It's just that a little further in their history and a little more. It's actually kind of poetic later on. So if Zordon is the Red Ranger, Rita is the Green Ranger. They've had a connection before. They were a team. Something happened, and Green Ranger went nuts. She turned into the Rita that we know, and Zordon, he had to go form another team or maybe form more teams to fight a power that was before. So this is kind of cool because we can almost kind of see the sequel, or maybe if it's even in this movie. I don't think so because there's no Tommy, but you can kind of see the story of how it's like a poetic in a way where the current Red Ranger will fight the new Green Ranger, and it's like each one has their own master telling them what they should believe in. I don't know if that's going to be true, but you kind of see that happening. If you've seen the Power Ranger series, the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger had several fights together, and they were kind of like they were like going head to head all the time. So you can kind of we can capture that in this, and it would have a lot more meaning because each one has a history, and where a Red Ranger and a Green Ranger before fought each other, and they became arch rivals in a sense. So I think this is absolutely fantastic. It adds a lot more depth to the story. It creates something that you can add to later and make it more meaningful as the story goes on in sequels. And that is pure genius, I think. A lot of people may disagree with me, but I honestly opinion that is great. And it comes to more. What are the other ones? Well, if there's a Red Ranger, there's a Green Ranger. Did the Yellow Ranger die? Did the Black Ranger die? You know, all the other Rangers. Was that why she became evil and killed off all her buddies? And Zordon is the only one left, turned into pure energy and decided to escape whatever battle war. I don't know. I'm going off in huge war tangents, but I can kind of see this whole picture forming that before this Power Ranger movie even starts. And it's like in Transformers. I know I'm on Transformers kick, but it's like in Transformers. They have the Cybertron thing, and then Megatron and Optimus Prime comes to Earth and continue their battle. It's almost like the same thing, you know. Frank really turns evil right from the get-go. There's always something that happened that changed people to something else, and then that's where a protagonist and antagonist comes from. And I think it makes it really the plot more poetic as it goes on. Everything else on here is what we already knew. This one's kind of interesting, actually. It says there's going to be an updated version of the Power Rangers theme in this movie, and that's great. And they throw a little bit in here. They did it for Ghostbusters. They actually throw the Ghostbusters theme in there, add their own take to it. That's fine. They do it in Star Trek. They do the Star Trek theme, but they had their own theme. That's fine. That's just that's good. I mean, that's fitting. Why wouldn't they do that? I think that appears to be it. The putties will make an appearance in Power Rangers in a scene where Rita Repulsa is trying to steal gold bullions from the Central Bank of Russia. 5 putties made of stone in a later scene challenge the Rangers. Oh, that is interesting. Obviously, these aren't the putties. These are from the original series, so I think they were all CG characters. Goldar. Molecular essence is scattered around the globe after he was vaporized into a cloud of microscopic gold particles in the opening action sequence on Ancient Earth. So it's part of Ancient Earth. Rita Repulsa collects gold to resurrect Goldar, which is why his name is Goldar. I don't know. He's the Gold Ranger. No, I'm kidding. And the Rangers have just 71 hours to stop her. So Goldar is not going to be in this, or he could be towards the end of the film where they have to actually get he'll grow bigger maybe, and then that's why they have to get the Megazords to stop him. The Zeo Crystal is protected by a force field. Anything that comes in contact with it is vaporized. Goldar was created with a single purpose: to penetrate the force field and steal the crystal. You know, the Zeo Crystal was actually later on in the series, not from the get-go. So it's interesting they pulled some of that storyline into the movie. That's good. That's cool. The Zeo Crystal is an artifact that channels the morphing grid, a dimension that weaves through all things and what gives the Power Rangers their power. The crystal was hidden on Earth to keep it out of the hands of those who would use it as a weapon. So all pretty standard. Rita Repulsa has been trying to deliver the Zeo Crystal to her master Lord Zed. So there is a Lord Zed in this universe. That is interesting. He is one of the cooler looking villains in the series. It would make quite a statement as he burned half his face off trying to steal it himself. That is interesting that they got into such detail on that. I don't know where they get this information from. But Lord Zed is in this universe, so we could probably expect to either see him maybe like an end scene like Thanos. And it'll probably be in the sequel. Hopefully there's a sequel. Hopefully this movie's good enough to have a sequel. And that's it. That was all the news slides that were found on therap.com. And that's what we know so far. So, huge takeaway. Seems like Rita was the Green Ranger. Zordon was the Red Ranger. There is a Goldar, and there is Goldar in this series, this reboot movie, and Lord Zed is also in it. Huge news. I hope you're okay with being spoiled if you kept on watching, but this is exciting. I can't wait to see the designs. I don't think we've even seen Zordon yet, if he even has a face like in the original, or is he just an orb of energy? I don't know yet. We'll see. And will we get some... I would love to see that Red Ranger versus Green Ranger battle before the sequels. That would be so cool if we could get a flashback and they're like battling it out. That would be awesome. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Good night.